it's on. Look, it's on.
Oh, it's on.
It is so on.
Pull up a chair, grab a cold one, smoke 'em if you got 'em. It's time for the Fan Happy Hour.
On the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 and 1080. The Fan.
Here's your host, Luke Anderson.
Hey, happy hump day, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful afternoon so far. With me, as always, Jeff Rust. How are you doing, young man?
Not too shabby, sir. How about yourself?
Oh, I am just ecstatic to be here. Happy hour. It's a good time. So diving in to some of the fun stories that we've seen over the last 24 hours and whatnot. And yesterday was a weird one, man. Did you happen to catch the doubleheader between the Orioles and Blue Jays?
I saw the box scores. I know that yesterday during the firm, the first game was on and had already turned into a blowout. So there was position players pitching.
Yeah, it was. The first one was
Like 16-4.
Yeah, not good. Not good for the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Blue Jays had the best record in baseball going into yesterday. I don't
Mhm.
know if they continue to do so, but the craziest thing that happened in that is they're playing in a doubleheader, and midway through the two-game set, they completed a trade. So we have the trade deadline tomorrow, and the Orioles traded after the first game. One of their players, Seranthony Dominguez, to the Blue Jays, and he pitched in the second game.
Wow.
How fantastic is that?
Yeah, that'll be a trivia note in like 57 years.
Oh, it will be, I would think even sooner than that, because you didn't know about it and it happened yesterday, and you just produced a sports radio show.
Yeah.
So what you need to do right now is go ahead and pull up on
Plus,
your...
we have two baseball men in
Well-
there in the studio for that the Furman Harrison meringue too. You know what I mean?
Yes, and the funniest thing is, first of all, how does it happen that you can have somebody traded that quickly and ready to play? But my question was, how do you have him uniformed that quickly?
Yeah.
And I'd like you to go ahead and pull up, if you can find a photo, the photo of this pitcher. He's wearing number 48.
Do you remember his name?
It is Seranthony, S-E-R Anthony Dominguez. And he's wearing jersey number 48 for the Blue Jays. He has been on the team all of the time it took between the two games to have a little hiatus before the second game was played.
Uh-huh.
He's over there. He's in uniform. He went in. He struck out the first two batters he faced. But take a look at the 8 and the number 48. Looks very much upside down.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I've got one picture here. I got to let's find some.
No, you're good. But the clubhouse was able to get his name on the jersey, get his number on the jersey, but it very much looked like a rush job.
There we go. Yes.
And you can clearly see that the 8 is upside down.
Yeah, that's a little whoopsie poops there, isn't it?
But hey, they got it on there. They got him out there, and he was able to pitch a shutout inning. He struck out the first two batters. The next batter he beaned, which is even better. Then he picked him off at first base. Welcome to the team. Welcome to the team.
That is a rather, I don't know, would that be an inauspicious or an auspicious beginning, huh?
I think it might be both.
Yeah, it's kind of off to we'll call it an uneven start. How about that?
It is a very unique thing, but it made me thinking about some of the crazier trades that have ever happened in baseball. And baseball is littered with things like this. I don't know if you remember this from last year, but it also involved the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays, around the deadline, traded catcher Danny Jansen, who was actually just traded from the Rays, maybe back to somebody, but I saw his name come up again. Do you know what he's famous for from his trade in last season?
I do not.
So Danny Jansen was traded at the trade deadline, but after the trade deadline, they had to continue a game that was delayed because of a rainout.
Okay, now this is ringing a bell.
He had an at-bat for both teams in the same
game.
inning.
Same inning.
Same inning. He was at bat when the game was called for a delay.
Yes.
So he was then traded at the deadline, but they hadn't made up the game.
Right.
So when they got around to actually making up the game, he was in the lineup for the Red Sox. They put him in, and he got to have an at-bat for the same team in the same inning of a baseball game. So on the scorecard, he's in both uniforms.
And that weird stuff only happens in Major League Baseball.
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic. So let's go through a little bit of history. So go back to a trade between the Cleveland Indians and the New York Mets, and they were the Indians at the time. This was in 1962. A guy named Harry Cheedy was traded for a player to be named later.
Mhm.
2 months later, guess who that player was that came back?
Him.
He was traded for himself. He
Hey!
was traded to the Mets and then back to the Indians,
Check
traded
out the
for
big brain
himself.
on Brad.
Yeah. All right. How about this one? There is a guy named Joe Martinia. He played in the 1920s. He was traded. Let's see if I have the teams here. I do not. But he was traded to a New Orleans team for 2 barrels of oysters. Yeah.
2 barrels of oysters. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's like the old bucket of chicken and washing machine joke, right?
yeah. I mean, it kind of is, but
Yeah.
that actually happened. Let's see. Hall of Famer Lefty Grove was traded to repair the team's outfield fences that were destroyed by a storm. Yeah. Cy Young. You've heard of Cy Young, I assume.
have.
He was acquired by the Cleveland Spiders for a small sum of money and a new suit for his old team's manager.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. Only in baseball.
Only in baseball. We have a couple manager swaps. The Cleveland Indians back in 1960 made a trade with the Tigers. They swapped managers. Joe Gordon left the Indians, went to the Tigers, and Jimmy Dykes came back. No players in the trade whatsoever.
Wow. Interesting. I feel like that happened with the Mariners were involved in
Yeah.
a similar type. Yeah. Lou Piniella going to the Rays for
2000
Randy Wynn.
2002, that's right. Randy Wynn was traded for that.
I'm on a hot streak.
Yes, you are. In 1976.
Thanks for playing. It's time to go home.
That's right. The show's over, folks. Rust absolutely killed it today. 1976, Chuck Tanner was a manager for the Athletics. He was traded to become the manager for the Pirates, and he was traded for a catcher in that one. Gil Hodges was traded to the New York Mets for a pitcher as a manager, and he went on to lead the Mets to a World Series in 1969. And more recently, again, Ozzie Guillen in 2011 was traded to the Marlins to become their pitcher. And so they traded a pitcher and an infielder for a manager and a pitcher in that situation. So baseball full of weird things.
Yes.
But if you haven't seen the photo of the upside down number 8, they literally traded for a guy in the middle of a doubleheader.
That's fantastic.
I think it's just about as good as anything that I saw yesterday. So
Yes.
that's how we'll start off the show. But right now it's time to get into a few jokes. It's a segment we call In Case You Missed It. All right, so some quarterbacks obviously do not like to play in the preseason. Tua Tagovailoa is not one of them. He said, "I'm not too cool to play in the preseason." Good for you. Good to hear from you, bro. But with your concussion history, maybe you shouldn't be too cool to wear one of those helmet diapers in the regular season. That's what I'd like to see you wear.
Well, look, between my 3 options here, whether it's groan, laugh, or booing, that's kind of tough for that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Tua needs to put on
No,
one
he
of those.
absolutely does.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like the laugh track seems a little out of place there. The booing seems a little out of place there.
All right. All right. I'll take you for it. According to reports, the Houston Astros are interested in trading to get Carlos Correa back on their roster before the trade deadline, which is tomorrow. The team is reported to have said, we'd love to have Carlos back in Houston. He's a great cheater. No, I mean player. If you didn't see it, the Grizzlies and Magic will play 2 games in Europe next year. On January 15th, they will play in Berlin. On January 18th, they will play in London. No wonder Europeans hate Americans. Out of 41 NFL games, the Jaguars have played in 13, and now we're finally giving them NBA regular season games, and they get Ja Morant and his finger guns. You're welcome.
Well, I'll just hope he doesn't try to take him on the plane.
Well, his finger guns. He got in trouble last year for pointing his finger, not real guns.
I know, I got you,
But he's going to do something stupid, won't
yes, he will. Oh, yeah, that's only a matter of time.
Like, if you're sitting over there in Europe and you're like, oh, NBA basketball, Magic, Grizzlies. Sorry.
No John Morant. He's under suspension.
All right, this one's very wordy.
Okay.
And I tried to write it for you specifically.
Ooh.
It may not go well. Baltimore Ravens tight end Isaiah Likely suffered a small fracture in his foot, But according to sources, he's likely to recover in time to play early in the season. The amazing thing that I saw is how reporters were choosing not to write the word likely. They kept choosing synonyms for the adjective and adverb forms, so they didn't have to pair it with the noun form, as in likely is likely or it's likely.
Right. Yeah.
So, it's a boo?
Boo on them.
Oh, boo on them. Okay. So I made a little
Have fun with it.
mnemonic phrase so you can remember the injury designations for
Okay.
the NFL.
There we go.
If Isaiah Likely's listed as questionable, Likely's likelihood is likely higher than doubtful. But if Likely's likelihood is unlikely, then Likely's likely to be listed as doubtful. So I hope that helps you.
I had to in my updates make sure to put a pause after saying, I'd have to say, ESPN reporting Ravens tight end Isaiah Likely suffered a small fracture in his left
Yes,
foot.
it is a very weird one. But I was looking at multiple injury reports and seeing, or the way that injuries are talked about, because there's a lot of them right now in camps.
Yes.
And the word likely appears a ton in every press release except for
Yeah.
Isaiah Likely's.
Yeah.
So, anyways, all right, there you have. I hope some of those hit home. If
Coward
they did
sports
not.
writers.
Yeah, I know. Come on, get creative with it. I made it through that pretty good. I
Yeah.
did better than I thought I would. I wasted all my time doing that, so I don't have any more jokes for you there. But we will get to the Daily Buzz. We do it next. It's Happy Hour on 105.1 The Fan.
Top headlines, trending topics, and trivial matters that got our attention. It's the Daily Buzz on the Fan Happy Hour.
The Buzz.
Here's your host, Luke Anderson.
All right, to start things off, I'm going to get confused again. I just went through all the likelihoods of likely. And now I'm looking at the trade ticker for Major League Baseball, and we just had a trade yesterday that happened between two teams that were playing against each other in a doubleheader. Now my head's about to explode again. There's been two trades of note today that I'm seeing. Both of them involve one of the Rogers brothers. So there are two identical twins that are pitchers, both relief pitchers. They're both 34 years old, obviously, because they're twins. But they're both involved in trades today. One, Tyler Rogers. Let's see, which trade was he in? Okay. The Reds have acquired Ke'Bryan Hayes from the Pirates. Okay? And they are getting back Taylor Rogers.
Okay.
Coming from the Giants. In the same exact day and time, we've got, now I got to find this other one. The Mets are getting Tyler Rogers from the Giants as part of a trade that they're making as well. So we've got twin brothers now on the move as the lesser part of the two trades that are popping up. So none of these make a huge difference to me. So Tyler Rogers is the active player.
Okay.
And he is going to the Mets to help the back end of their bullpen. Taylor Rogers has been designated to the minors and is the less impactful part of the trade between the Reds and the Pirates.
Really,
so,
Mom and Dad, they go with Taylor and Tyler. I mean,
I
come
know.
on.
Well, I have an uncle that was trying to convince me when we had twins that the best option for us was Monique and Unique. He thought would be. Yeah, I know. So everybody's got their thing.
It's like, what was the old joke on you're probably too young for Newhart.
There's Daryl, my other brother Daryl.
I'm Larry. This is my brother Daryl. This is my other brother Daryl.
Yeah. So there's two Daryls there, but yeah. So you've got Tyler and Taylor, both involved in trades. Like I said, Tyler Rogers is the one that is the more impactful part of this trade. So he was traded for a haul of prospects, and the best defensive fielding third baseman in baseball is moving from the Pirates to the Reds. Right now, the Reds sit 3 games out of the National League wildcard spot, making a trade with the Pirates, who are 13 games out of it. So the Pirates are sellers, Reds, your buyer there. And the Mets trying to figure out how they can hang on to that lead in the National League.
This according to the text line, I guess Taylor is a submariner pitcher.
So,
yeah.
They
sidearm.
So they have two different. Is it Taylor or Tyler?
Well, this says Taylor.
Okay, well,
on the text machine.
Taylor is in the minors right now, so we'll see if he is
Maybe
guy
needs
that's
to work
moved
on
up.
going more over the top then for his motion.
I couldn't tell you, but yeah, I looked at both articles, and then they both went to the exact same spot, which is twin brothers traded on the same day. So trying to keep up with that, who knows? Something that is a little bit more linear and easier to follow. I don't think anybody will be surprised to learn that former NBA All-Star Gilbert Arenas is facing new legal troubles.
Boy.
Yeah, so he was arrested and indicted for illegal gambling. That was today in connection with an illegal gambling business he allegedly hosted at his mansion that he owned in Encino, California. He's being charged with operating an illegal gambling business. So this goes with other allegations. One of them is possessing a large amount of fireworks in 2022. Of course, the famous locker room incident in 2009 with the gun. He also had a handgun registration violation in 2003. But it sounds like just a lot more trouble for Gilbert Arenas.
Yeah. That's a weird one to get in trouble for, is having, like, for lack of a better word, a buttload of fireworks.
I know. I was just looking through. I was like, well, this guy's got a whole history of missteps. Let's go ahead and see what those are.
That's too many Piccolo Pete's.
And I didn't know. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember the fireworks being a big thing. But there you have it. You've got just something to keep an eye on. Gilbert Arenas getting in trouble for hosting parties at his mansion.
Connection with, like, some Israeli, like, I don't want to say crime boss, but definitely involved in some underworld type things.
Well, yeah, I mean, think of how big the operation has to be for it to get somebody's attention.
Yeah.
So if you're having just a poker game with your friends, I don't think any is going on.
Yeah.
This has to be a lot of money exchanging hands. It has to be people that are being watched for several reasons. I don't know if Gilbert Arenas is on any watch lists, but his behavior has been, we'll say, erratic over the years.
Yes.
So he's a little what you would call kooky dukes.
But I guess for these parties too, I mean, they were hiring security and chefs and escorts. For all this too, and so it was an operation, man.
Yeah, among the charges, conspiracy to operate an illegal gambling business, operating an illegal gambling business, and making false statements to federal investigators. So that means the investigators have been on this for a while. Co-conspirators, 5 other individuals have also been charged, including suspects connected to an Israeli organized crime group. So details, prosecutors alleged that Arenas rented his mansion so this might go back to the fireworks as well, from 2021 to 2022 to host the high-stakes games and collect the rake. An associate alleged that he helped manage the operation, find co-conspirators. The operation allegedly involved hiring women who provided drinks, massages, and companionship, requiring them to share their tips. Prosecutors also claim that Arenas lied to investigators about his involvement. So this could go a lot deeper.
You don't lie to the feds, man.
It seems like a bad idea.
Yeah.
I have there was a couple times where I ran into somebody and there was couple guys in very nice suits, and they had to let me know that they're like, hey, we're here for part of this, don't get in our way for anything we're doing. And you just go, all right, absolutely. And I was just I was working at an establishment, and they're just like, hey, this is what we're doing, don't say a word and stay out of our way. And I went, very okay,
no problem.
I had another one where I think it was Al Gore was running for president. This was years and years ago, and he was doing some appearance right up the street from us on Northwest 23rd.
Yeah.
And I'm about 15 blocks away, and there's a huge crowd, and everybody's very excited. I'm like, and so I'm just kind of cracking jokes with somebody in the back, and I'm like, wow, so cool that we got to come here to see a person that we're being told is Al Gore way down there or something like that. And I said it loudly enough that I got a few chuckles.
Right.
And then I go, wow, I'm wearing a blue shirt too. Maybe I can be president. And then I looked up, and the Secret Service, the guy's holding his earpiece and looking at me, and I'm like, I think I should shut up.
That's just.
And then he says something into his hand, and another guy's looking at me. I'm like, I should probably.
Too bad I can't stay.
I should probably go. Following up on a story that we talked about a little bit last week, Trey Hendrickson is no longer holding out for Cincinnati Bengals camp, so he is going to hold in instead. So this is the first step in leading to the assumption that they're going to have conversations pick up. So right now, Hendrickson is scheduled to make $15 million, $15.8 million as a base salary next year. If he plays under his current contract, then he would be a free agent at the end of the year. Obviously, he'd be subject to the franchise tag, but he's trying to get a multi-year extension. It sounds like the Bengals have only wanted to do a single-year extension.
Yeah.
So he's going to be holding in. So I think that is the last of the holdouts that we had for camp.
I
So
believe
now
so.
everybody is at least present and willing to talk with.
Ooh, except for what about Terry McLaurin? Did I see?
He
that
showed up.
Did he show up?
Let me confirm that. But yeah, I thought that was a couple days ago. Terry McLaurin. So he returned. Yeah, he returned 2 days ago to camp. So no, I had it right. Well, hey, you made me question it. So it's always a tricky time to keep track of things like this, because who's holding out, who's holding in, who's expected to play. The interesting part of this is always the fine dollars, and if they ever actually get collected or actually issued. So right now, Hendrickson has accumulated $350,000 in fines for the first 7 days of holdout. Plus, there is another $104,768 for missing minicamp, and another, so in total, $454,000 that the front office could collect on, but most likely will not. So this returning to camp is a good faith gesture to
Yes,
be there. So
because that's a pretty big matzo ball.
yes, it is, but it's also a guy that's expected to make $15 million this year and is trying to get the team
There
to
is
pay him something closer to, I imagine, what TJ Watt is getting paid, which is $40 million. And there's a big gap between 15 and 41 that I think Mr. Hendrickson would be very happy with.
Yes.
And I think I went on this rant last week, and you can forgive me if you have to hear it again. But damn you, Bengals, for being so interesting that I actually care about this. Can you please get a defense out there? Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are fantastic to watch, and it's good for the NFL. If you have fatigue over the Kansas City Chiefs, and that's 90% of the people that are hearing my voice right now, including like 45% of me and 45% of you, we would very much like to see the Bengals back in it because that is a fun team to watch in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
And I will take more of Joe Burrow anytime. It is must-watch television. So if we could please get to that, I would appreciate it. But right now, let's go over to the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. And Rust, tell me what we missed there. And it's not Terry McLaurin, because we already got that.
It's not Terry McLaurin, but this update is brought to you by Laurelhurst Market Steakhouse and Butcher Shop, a great spot for any occasion. And don't forget, you save 10% on your Butcher Shop order when you dine in. Menus and more at laurelhurstmarket.com.
Have you ever taken advantage of that 10%?
We just went out there this last weekend, and I wasn't feeling great by the end of it, and anxiety thing, and so anyway, we had to get out and go home, and I have anxiety issues sometimes.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it was
well, next time, get yourself a steak.
I forgot to take my pill that day, basically.
You know what calms anxiety? Bringing a steak home, throwing on your grill.
Those same Cincinnati Bengals, they today released running back Zach Moss after just one season. He began training camp on the non-football injury list after suffering a season-ending neck injury last season. So that brings me to this. If he suffered a season-ending neck injury last season, why are they placing him on the non-football injury list?
Was it a non-football neck injury?
I tried to do some digging. I couldn't see anything about it. It didn't say like
Zach Moss. Was he Utah?
Yes, I think so.
Had some good years in Buffalo.
I think that sounds about right.
But yeah, I don't know. I wonder if it's one of these recovery things. I know he wasn't getting paid a whole glob of money.
Right.
So
I think he had it was under $2 million left.
Yeah. So this is nothing like Christian Wilkins, but I just wonder if this is, hey, we've got somebody that's younger and better, or making room for an undrafted free agent, or somebody that they did draft, or whatever it is.
And he ran for about 242 yards in 6 games last year.
Didn't make a huge impact. He's older, and you probably have somebody that's younger, faster, and cheaper. That's kind of my guess what this is, and they probably just went, which one of these things can we say that it is? Let's go non-football injury and move on.
There we go. More sports scores and stories in 60 Minutes with Ryan Buckley. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The Fan is live on YouTube and Twitch. And now Window Nation brings you on-demand videos. Watch Window Nation's Window into the Fan.
back in the day.
So that was Travis
Hunter
Yep.
and us, yeah, sorry, Travis Hunter and Pete Prisco, I believe, on CBS Sports.
Yep.
Yes, asking Travis Hunter about his nickname, and he's given himself the moniker, the Unicorn.
Okay. I
Yeah.
mean, listen, we can do better than that.
Right.
But you had a quick story you wanted?
Yeah, because sometimes it's about is it okay to give yourself your own nickname?
No.
And so, well, I kind of did this once.
Did you go T-bone?
In the infancy of my restaurant career, the restaurant I was working at had two other Jeffs.
Okay.
One was Dog Boy, one was Birdman, and I at the time was shaving my head completely bald, so I went by Kojak.
Kojak. And did
Yeah.
it stick?
It did. It stuck. There were people there that did not know my name was Jeff.
Well, see, my thing is with anybody that is named Jeff or Jason,
Mhm.
Ryan, there's a whole handful of these names from
Yes.
my youth, probably close to yours as well.
Uh-huh.
Doesn't everybody just go by their last name? You're Rust.
Yeah, well,
You're Rust or
Yeah,
Rusty or
yes.
whatever. That seems very slam
Right.
dunky. Why Kojak? Did you just love the show? Or
well, I was shaving my head bald and just
Yeah.
trying to think of a shtick, and so then I was carrying around suckers in my apron and would leave those on the table as I dropped off the check, and
Huh?
yeah, so
and make
But-
you some money?
Somebody else though, very famously, also trying to give themselves their own nickname.
No T-Bone.
Hey, it's not T-Bone!
No, there's no T-Bone.
Why no T-Bone?
Why no T-Bone?
Okay, so how do we feel about Unicorn as a nickname for Travis Hunter? Nobody else does what he does, but Unicorn's like just a mythical creature, right? Like it's
Yeah.
unbelievable almost.
Yes,
But we have guys with that nickname, right?
Kristaps Porzingis.
Porzingis has that nickname. It doesn't feel tough enough for football. If he's going to pick a mythical creature,
Mhm.
can't we do better than that?
Right? Yeah.
Like he's
Let's go with like the Minotaur.
yeah, or what's the other the half man, half horse? Centaur.
Centaur, there we go, yeah.
Minotaur.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like
He's
that.
the Minotaur. He was the one that guarded the maze inside the whatever
Yes.
temple that
yeah,
was.
Minotaur. Let's
Yeah.
do something like that. He does two things: bullhead and man body. Is that the Minotaur?
Right? Yes, I
Okay.
believe so.
Yeah, something like that. We got to
Yeah.
do better than unicorn. All right,
Exactly.
somebody come up, send us in 503 2GO fan, TOGOFAN. Send us your better nicknames for Travis Hunter. I'm not buying that.
No.
I don't like it. Unicorn is terrible for him.
Yes.
Which Brown was better?
Miami Heat Brown.
Miami Heat Browns.
Miami Heat.
I'm going this Cavs Brown because this
Man.
Cavs Brown had a 3.
Man, y'all
Heat Brown was
crazy.
That
Miami
might be the
Heat
best
Brown
Brown we ever
was,
seen. I ain't gonna lie.
he was on steroids, bro. He had to sit out. He was on steroids for real. Like legit was on steroids, bro. I'm allegedly, but like he had to sit out. But y'all remember when they told him like they
There
gonna
goes the
start?
Clutch Sports allegations.
Y'all remember that though?
Nah,
When they was like he got everybody. They started testing for HGH, and they was like, yo.
Yeah.
And he had to sit out. Like he said his back was hurt, and he sat out for like 3 weeks, and he came back skinny. This is just I was in the league. I remember. And he came back in. He was crazy though,
Nah,
bro.
that might be the best Brown, bro.
So, former NBA player and former LeBron teammate Jeff Teague making those comments on his Club 520 podcasts, suggesting LeBron used steroids during his time in Miami. He would later go on to backtrack a bit on Instagram, saying that he was just joking about LeBron being so dominant, which, I was just kidding, man.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
That's why I wanted you to play that clip. It sound very much like a.
That's not a dude. That doesn't sound like a dude who's kidding.
No, it does not.
No.
But he backtracked. Obviously, it upset the LeBron camp and all of that. So I guess I can see why he would. He does not have the profile of it. But
Would you be surprised / would it change your perception if, in fact, you found out that was true?
I don't think I would be surprised if anybody in professional sports did absolutely everything they could to stay on the court. Because a lot of times with steroids, and I've talked to a couple former pros that said it's used as much to recover from injury and stay available as it is to get stronger and get better and whatever. Obviously, it's a performance enhancer, but it's
Yes.
also a way to recover quickly. And so if I found out that any pro did anything, I would not be surprised. But I would also go to the thing which we see in Major League Baseball all the time, where people are criticizing, and we've decided that Sosa is out, Clemens is out, McGuire's out, Bonds is out. They were in the steroid era. They can't be in the Hall of Fame. how many guys trying to hang on to their position in the league were using the exact same stuff?
Yeah, they were
There's
just
a
better at it.
lot of money to be made playing professional sports now and in the recent past.
Yes.
So I would not be surprised if anybody was doing it, but I'd be less surprised if everybody was doing it. It's very much the Lance Armstrong thing. He was not the only guy doping. He just did it better than everybody else. And yes, he denied. Yes, he was an a-hole about it. And yes, he probably got what he deserved. But at the same time, I very much doubt he was the only guy that was doing it. So that's
I want to tell you how I engaged with it sitting there in the heat yesterday, because you hear your name come out and you're just so overwhelmed with gratitude that your name comes out, and then you hear the Marlins joke, and I immediately thought, my God, anything other than that, because that is, you could just tell that people were going to think that that was serious, but it wasn't. We won the World Series in 03, folks. He was in his prime in 03. He knew the Marlins, number one. Number two, he faced us. We played against him.
Oh, he was terrible against the Marlins.
I then had it checked. He was like 8 for 40 against us.
Yeah, he was bad. against the Marlins.
We had him dead to rights. And believe me, he keeps track of every at-bat. So what I then realized is he wanted to let people know what a funny side he has to go with how important his message was during his speech, which I think is one of the most viral and best speeches I've ever heard a Hall of Famer give. So I had a little PTSD because the Marlins are the butt of people's jokes, though we do have 2 world championships in our franchise history, and we've been to the playoffs recently twice since COVID. So all of this talk that the Marlins are, such a failure, I just don't buy. But I think now people realize that, of course, Ichiro was joking.
So I believe that's Marlins exec David Sampson. Is that
Yep.
right? On the Dan Le Batard show. Ichiro, during his speech, he thanked former Marlins executive Mike Hill for showing up. And then he said, honestly, when you guys called to offer me a contract for 2015, I had never heard of your team. That drew laughs from the crowd. Sampson saying there, even though he understood the joke, he did the last 20 seconds or so, maybe got a little bit defensive.
Oh yeah, I think the whole time he was a little sensitive about it.
So would you be all right to someone using you as the butt of a joke in their Hall of Fame speech?
I mean, it is like he said, he acknowledged that it's one of the more viral, and I don't think that anybody that heard that speech singled it out as take that Marlins. We even made a joke on this show about how, if the Mariners are taking shots at anybody, it probably shouldn't be teams with 2 World Series when you've never played in one.
Yeah.
But yeah, you go from, Seattle to the New York Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that's a little bit of a trip to the outpost from New York and playing in the Bronx to going back to Miami. So if anything, I would say it's more of a transition of that. He also made the other joke about, acknowledging that the Yankee fans were not there to see him.
Yes.
So yeah, no, I think it's pretty funny because what I heard in that clip was that is a very, very sensitive subject for the Marlins.
Yeah.
Because they have the hardest time getting fans in Miami. I think as many people talk about them nationally as they do locally.
Yeah.
And that's probably where the sensitivity comes from. But I would be if I got dumped on in especially in a fun way like that, bring it on.
See, and I think in a lot of these speeches, they start out as, you got your jokes in there and maybe a little bit of a boom roasted, once or twice. And then towards the end, as you're wrapping it up, you get to the end. That's where you start to get a little bit more heartfelt.
Yeah, well, exactly. And listen, I mean, unless you're making jokes about Will Smith, I think you're probably fairly safe. No? Oh, all right. Well, hey, we're already at that time. Let's go ahead and grab one more for the road. We'll put a bow on the show. We'll do it next. It is the Happy Hour with Luke Anderson on 105.1 The Fan.
Relax, hot shot.
Welcome back to the Fan Happy Hour. We're about to wrap things up.
Maybe you guys like what I have so far?
Wicked woman, cool creams and misters. You got a cool spell on me.
Let's grab one more for the road.
Come on, everybody. Everything's smooth.
Here's Luke Anderson.
All right, welcome back in, Mr. Rust. What are people saying on the chats and the texts and the things? What are we getting from our listeners?
Old Rufio on the YouTube chat chiming in, saying, did you guys know that butt used to be used as a measurement term? So saying a butt load is actually quasi-correct. And he is correct.
Yeah.
The butt was the old name for a barrel of wine, and so then its contents were the butt load.
Yeah, there's actually like quite a bit of context to that.
Yeah.
So it was like, because you were hauling around, chunks of meat and mead and whatever else. And yeah, so buttload is an accurate source of measurement. Thank you for the validation on that.
Yes, to the steroid talk, Luke Combs apparently was on with Big Cat and said he had to take a steroid shot in order to sing, not just athletes doing whatever it takes to perform. That comes from Deal on the text line.
Well, listen, steroids are used all the time in medical interventions. If you know anybody that's gone through, any severe illness or sometimes even fairly mild illnesses, steroids get you right back up and going, and where you're completely down and out. It's a powerful drug for sure. And the idea that athletes aren't taking advantage of all the things that are out there and making it available, give me a break. Yeah. Especially at the lower levels where there's no testing. Come on.
And a couple of texters on the text line regarding Travis Hunter and his self-chosen nickname.
Yeah.
They said since he's playing both sides, why not call him full-time?
Full-time! Not prime time, but full-time.
Full-time.
Prime time was kind of full-time. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. We got to come up with a better nickname than that and figure out one pretty quick because Unicorn, it's been used and it's not that great. Certainly doesn't feel like it has much fit in football.
Right.
All right, something that irritates me in sports reporting, I cannot for the life of me find it. Maybe I'm just trying to take too many shortcuts. But yesterday, Mariners outfielder Randy Arozarena became the 10th player to have 5 straight 2020 seasons. He's already got 20 home runs. He swiped his 20th stolen base yesterday, picked up the base, held it up. Very exciting. On the broadcast, I go, he's the 10th player ever to do it. Fantastic. Several articles today. He's the 10th player ever to do it. Who are the other 9 players? Can you please just give me the rest of the players?
Yeah.
I don't want to have to go and look at every 2020 season ever and go and count through them. I've got that Jose Ramirez has done it 7 times. We know that Barry Bonds did it like 10 times or 9 consecutive times, whatever it is. But if he's the 10th guy to do it,
just tell me.
Just come on.
Who else?
I tried asking
Randy
AI.
Arozarena.
AI's like, I cannot find all that information in a single source. I pulled up probably 8 different articles. It's something that I pinned that I wanted to talk about today because I was like, this will be interesting to see. Because when was the first guy to do it?
Right.
Was Ty Cobb doing that? I don't think he was. He got a lot of hits, but he didn't get a lot of home runs.
Right.
Who was the first power guy that had speed? I don't want to have to go back and comb through all of Major League Baseball's
I feel
history.
like that's got to be, somebody with who knows the ins and outs of Baseball Reference better than I'm sure could probably go find that.
Again, but why?
Yeah.
Why go on
Yep.
to your little internet platform where you're writing the article, whether it's ESPN or Bleacher Report or Clutch Points or this or that or whatever, Mariners Insider, whatever. Yes, I know that somebody pointed out in a tweet that he's the 10th guy to do it. Can somebody that's taking that tweet and that you've already borrowed the stat from somebody else?
Yes.
This is what's happening. Is everybody sees the stat and they go, oh, fantastic. I'll just insert that into my article. I'll get my clicks, do my whole thing. Somebody just take the time and sit down and figure out who those other 9. It's 9 guys.
Yeah.
If he's
You
10,
can list them all in one more tweet.
If he's 10, there's 9 other guys.
What's the deal with
And
Great
listen,
Nuts?
Am I great with the internet? I am not. Did I try to use AI ineffectively? Probably. But it shouldn't be that hard to find for me.
Shouldn't be.
That's all. This is all I'm asking.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mariners lose, but so do the Rangers. Houston wins, so they're 4 back, still in second place, sole possession of second place in the AL West, but now in that 3rd wild card spot. So that's your update on the Mariners. Wanted to talk about something that's
Speaking
affecting
about marine life.
Yes, there you go. Nice transition. Look
Radio
at
professional.
you.
over here.
Your family has a place down at the coast?
Yes.
Anybody else listening with a place down at the coast is probably going through what you're going through. So I will cede a little time to you, young man, and let's hear what you've got going on.
So there's a Twitter account that I follow. I think it's North National Weather Service tsunami alerts.
Sure.
Right?
Makes sense. You got
And
a place
so-
at the coast, you should probably know what's going on.
That
with
is the one
tsunami.
account where I have it set to notify me when they tweet. Because, when we're down there, if something happens, we want to be able to get the heck out of Dodge.
Are you in the, I'm going to use quote, splash zone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. But so yesterday afternoon started going off an 8.8 magnitude earthquake on like the far east continent or part of Russia.
Yep.
So sending out tsunami warnings.
Sure.
And different updates and whatnot and how long. And so since then, I think about 20 or so updates on that tsunami. So we're averaging pretty much one an hour. Originally, it was reported that the waves would start hitting the Oregon coast around midnight or so.
Yeah.
Hawaii, like they showed a video of Hawaii residents, traffic was packed with everybody trying to evacuate to get to higher ground. It was supposed to hit there, I think, 7:10 Hawaii time.
Okay.
It turned out to not be anything huge or big, thank goodness. But I did see reports of some staggered, like 1 foot waves on the Oregon coast, not your typical ocean waves, but they said moving faster, only about a foot, but still recommending to stay off of the beaches.
All
but
right.
8.8.
8.8 is big.
And I think what the thing that amazed me the most, they said it's only the strongest in 14 years. I would have figured there would have been a longer span there, but
yeah, I'm trying to remember when the Fukushima earthquake was. So that was 2011.
Okay.
So that was trying to find the magnitude of that earthquake. Earthquake. I don't have the magnitude. I can't find it that quickly, but I remember we went to Shai Beach, which is the northernmost point of the Washington coast. So before you hit the Strait of Juan de Fuca, you go up along the Washington coast. You go through the Nia Bay Indian Reservation and then way out on the point out there. And we would have been there 4th of July, probably like 2012, 2013, something like that. But
Gotcha.
the amount of debris with Japanese writing on it on the beach was mind-blowing.
Absolutely.
So you have an earthquake in Japan and then rolling up on the Washington coast. It's a pretty secluded stretch of beach. It's hard to get to. It's a very long hike or whatever. There's not a lot of people up there, but we're finding Coke cans and buoys and all of this stuff with Japanese writing.
Crazy.
But you probably heard me nerd out when Patrick Harris brought up the thing. I recently read a book on the tides, and I will spare everybody listening my entire recollection of that book. But the ocean is a very, very crazy place. And when you get some power going across it and the way that the ocean floor and the ocean surface and weather impacts all of these things, man, it is not something that I have any intention to mess with. And I'm sure everybody's seen the tsunami with all the video from
Well, they made the
Southeast
movie
Asia
about
a
it,
few
too.
years ago,
I forget what it was called. But
but forget the movie. There's actual footage of it coming in, which
Yeah.
is, and they used it in the movie. So, in fairness, but tsunamis are not something you want to trifle with.
And one more little point about this is something like this can also point out exactly how dumb the average American is. There were people that were saying that tweeted back at the National Weather Service tsunami warning page. Why am I not seeing any updates on Fargo?
On Fargo, North Dakota?
Yes.
What? They're worried about tsunamis in Fargo?
Yes.
Are they aware of the mountain range in between?
Somebody replied to it with a map of the world and color-coded it with the coastline. It said, if there's a tsunami coming, here, be worried. And it circled the rest of the United States. And then it said, no tsunami.
All right. Rank your biggest natural fears. Animal attack, tsunami warning, earthquake. Bridge collapse wouldn't be natural, but that would count.
Well, but it'd be caused by a natural cause.
If you're listening and you can hear my voice, send them in. We'll talk about it to start tomorrow's show. But send those in, text, chat, however you want, and we'll talk about it. Start tomorrow's show. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you, Jeff Rust. Primetime is next. Everybody have a wonderful day. We're done for now. Bye-bye.
With a bang. Forget about your scene. Give the audience a grin. Enjoy it. It's your last chance anyhow.
EQ presents how to make a Blizzard treat even sweeter.
Just get a Blizzard treat on